All right, we'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. And our first order of business is to adopt the agenda. Do we have any additions?
No additions, motion.
Okay, can I have a motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried. Next, we'll move to the approval of the minutes of just the regular meeting minutes for March 7th because we didn't meet in April.
Regular meeting of the Development Authority of Pickens County is called to order in the meeting room of Pickens County Government Administration Building at 11 a.m. on March the 7th. Chairman Shaw presiding. The following board members were present: Chairman Shaw, Secretary Treasurer Payne, Michelle Tidwell, Dan Poole, and Kurt Bradfield. Also attending was Commissioner Chris Stansel, Attorney Melissa Tracy, and Mary Lisley, and Brandon Hannon. Thereafter, the following actions were taken. The authority approved the agenda. The authority approved the minutes of the regular meeting held February the 7th. Secretary Treasurer Payne gave a financial report. The authority approved to close the bank account at United Community Bank. Commissioner Stansel reported on county activities and gave an update on the SPLOST and the airport authority. City Mayor Raffield gave an update on the city activities. And following the regular meeting, motion was made by Michelle Tidwell and seconded by Dan Poole at 11:05 to go into executive session to consult and meet with legal counsel pertaining to pending or potential litigation, settlement, claims, administrative proceedings, or other judicial actions brought or to be brought by or against the county or an officer or an employee of which an officer or employee may be directly involved. Motion carried 5-0. Motion made by Michelle Tidwell and seconded by Dan Poole to come out of executive session at 11:40. Motion carried 5-0. Motion made to authorize the chairperson and the secretary to prepare and execute any and all documents associated with the required deeds and easements of the sewer lift station, including all sewer infrastructure located at 925 Upper Salem Church Road and all sanitary gravity sewer lines and related infrastructure crossing tax map parcel 041081001 to be conveyed to the City of Jasper in accordance with plats prepared by the Georgia Registered Land Surveyor and contingent upon review and approval of the authority's legal counsel. Mayor Raffield recused himself. Motion carried, but motion carried 4-0. Motion made to authorize Attorney Melissa Tracy to dismiss with prejudice that certain dispossessory action against buyer in the Supreme Court of Pickens County, which action is styled as Development Authority of Pickens County versus North Georgia Financial Holdings LLC, civil action file number 2024 SUCV 0600. Motion carried 4-0 or 5-0.
Before you move on, does it say Supreme or Superior?
It should be Superior. I just made a link
Okay.
with that.
Thank
Thank you. It does say Superior, excuse me. I don't
Okay.
have my glasses. My glasses are in my vehicle. I don't have any in my pouch here. That's really sorry.
I know you got it close.
With no further business, the meeting adjourned. The next scheduled meeting is April 4th, 2025 at 11 a.m.
Any other changes, deletions? Do we have a motion to approve?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried. And we'll take care of the executive session once we go into executive session today. Amberly could not be here today. She was out of town. We'll move on to treasurer's report. Todd?
Treasury report. I'll pull up my, so the only account we have is Community Bank. I know that all other accounts have been closed. And I got a statement here from March, but I'm gonna update with the April statement. I get my app to pull up, sorry.
We've had some issues with online banking
There,
this morning.
there,
Yeah.
there.
So
Okay.
say we've had some online banking issues. Have y'all?
No.
No, we have.
So the 422, I do have a 422, but there's some accounts after that. 422 balance is 464,084.21. The only checks cleared was the check to the county for reimbursement of the insurance and the closing
And the attorney fees.
attorney fees cost for $27,725.69. And we did have a statement for our attorney fees for
I think it's March. I've got both of them with me.
I've got it right here too.
Yeah. We've got February invoice, which was $2,685.76, and then March, which was $2,706.35. And we have been
Those were paid.
reimbursed for a portion of those through that closing. So if anybody wants a copy, if anyone would like to pass them around. But anyway, we were reimbursed for a portion of those already, so. And those monies that came to us from the closing, so.
Alright, any other questions on the financials?
Pretty plain and simple now.
Yep.
Pretty plain and simple.
Okay, we'll move on to committee and authority member reports. Kurt, looks like you're the, I know Chris told me at another
Sure.
meeting, he might be here and he might not.
So, good morning, everyone. I am excited to introduce you all to Carly Glaze. Carly is the newly hired community engagement manager. So Carly, I'll let you introduce yourself just briefly, and then I'll go over what the city has going on.
Okay, I'm Carly Glaze. Okay, this should kind of become my spiel the last 2 weeks.
She's only been called on about 30 times. to do this.
Yeah, so I feel like I'm just gonna say the same.
Yep, different groups.
So, okay, I'm from Cumming, but I raised in Dawsonville, I went to Dawson County Schools. My parents live in Dawsonville, I go to church in Dawsonville. I worked for Forsyth County for almost 5 years after I graduated from Kennesaw State. I was in their planning department, I ran minor plats for 4 years and the sign ordinance for 8 months. And then I left and now I'm here, because but my degree is in communications and political science. I ended up in planning because I graduated during the shutdown. Literally, that's just, there was a job and there were no jobs, so. But with planning, you have to end up picking landscape architecture, urban planning, or historical preservation. I like the historical preservation aspect. Forsyth County has no downtown, has no Main Street, has no nothing. And their big focus right now is big industry, like mining industrial, giant developments, recreating Halcyon 5 times over. And I don't care about that kind of stuff. It's very hard to care about that kind of stuff. So, here I am.
So here we are. We're welcome to Jasper.
Yes,
and,
it's great.
and it's the opposite of where we're wanting to do historical preservation, the Main Street program, the small
Yes.
mom and pops.
I love it.
Those things are what attracted Carly to us because those are the
Yes.
staples of what we expect this position to do.
Yes, absolutely. It's
If you have
great.
questions, feel free, grab one of us after the meeting. Lots of activity in the city here recently around development. Publix is now open. We did a groundbreaking on Chick-fil-A. Longhorn, Chipotle, Chicken Salad Chick, Tropical Smoothie, they're all coming along nicely. So that entire corner development is going well. GFA project, water and sewer. The $8 million worth of projects is scheduled to be bid in June. And so the city's moving forward on that. Downtown Live returns next Saturday, May 10th. That's going to be an exciting season. Art Walk starts Friday, May 16th. Miss Angela and Pack is doing a phenomenal job there. We're going to have a ribbon cutting at City Park, which is the new playground equipment that Carrie and them put in for us, which is phenomenal. That's Saturday, May 17th at 10 a.m. Bragg, bicycle ride across Georgia is coming on June 2nd to Lee Newton Park. And we've been staying busy. Perot Park is scheduled for a bid in mid-May. We're at the 100% plans on Perot Park. We're looking at mid-May, July council approval. Groundbreaking is set on pace for August for Perot Park. So that vision is finally becoming a reality. Station 14 for Jasper Fire Department, we've received proposals and site development will continue next couple of months. That second fire station in the city is going to come alive for us. Wastewater plant, we expect to do ribbon cutting in July, and city crews right now are focusing on stormwater runoff projects across the city. So if you see them in ditches digging and jetting, they're trying to work on drainage solutions across the city. So lots of moving parts, but all good stuff.
Great. Any questions for Kirk? Okay, we'll move on to old business, which you heard, we did transfer the .033 acre to the City of Jasper. I have copies of, Todd and I execute those documents, I have copies of those if anybody would like to see that, but after the survey, like I said, it came to .033. So, I think y'all have to approve that Monday, is that correct?
All of that's coming before council for approval of that and also the annexation.
On
to the
Monday.
airport.
So, anyway, that's it for old business. New business, anybody aware of anything? I do have one item I'd like to talk about when we go in executive session. Anybody else? Okay, do we have a motion to go in executive session?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried.
All right, thank you,
All
ma'am.
right,
I'll
a
see you.
motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second.
Any opposed? All in favor? Motion carried.